This is part 2 of how to prepare for retirement if you're about 5 years away. We'll break down healthcare and Medicare planning, including how to estimate costs, avoid common Medicare mistakes, and prepare for long-term care. Then we'll talk about lifestyle planning, because having financial security is one thing, but knowing how you actually want to spend your time in retirement is just as important. Let's get into it. Aloha, I'm Daniel Masuda Lehrman, your fee-only financial planner based out of Honolulu, serving clients just like you, virtually nationwide. In part 1 of this series, we cover the core financial topics if you're preparing for retirement in 5 years. How to estimate your expenses, maximize your income sources, create a tax-efficient withdrawal strategy, and optimize Social Security. If you missed it, I highly recommend going back and watching that video first, because those financial strategies are the foundation of a successful retirement. The link is in the description. When people plan for retirement, they usually focus on their savings and investments, but there's one critical piece that often gets overlooked, which is healthcare costs. Healthcare will likely be one of your biggest expenses in retirement, and if you don't plan for it properly, unexpected medical costs can drain your savings really quickly. There are 4 key areas of healthcare planning that you'll want to know for retirement: Medicare basics, Medicare supplement versus Medicare Advantage, healthcare for early retirees, and long-term care planning. When it comes to Medicare basics, the first thing you need to know is Medicare starts at age 65 for most people. It's a federal health insurance program designed to cover retirees, but it's not as simple as just signing up and being covered. Medicare has different parts. Part A, or hospital insurance, covers inpatient hospital stays, skilled nursing facilities, and some home health care. Part B, or medical insurance, covers doctor's visits, outpatient care, and preventative services. There is a monthly premium for Part B. Part D is prescription drug coverage. One common mistake that retirees make is not enrolling in Medicare on time. If you don't enroll in Medicare when you're first eligible at age 65, you can face lifetime penalties on your premiums. If you're already collecting Social Security, you'll automatically be enrolled in Parts A and B. If you're still working at 65 and have employer health coverage, you might be able to delay Medicare enrollment without a penalty, but make sure your employer plan qualifies before skipping enrollment. And if you miss your enrollment window, you could pay a 10% penalty per year for Part B, and that penalty lasts for life. So make sure to know your enrollment dates and don't miss your window. Once you're on Medicare, the next big decision is how you'll cover the gaps in coverage. Original Medicare, Parts A and B, cover a lot, but not everything. You'll still have deductibles, co-pays, and no cap on out-of-pocket expenses. So that's where 2 other options come into play. Option number 1 is Medicare Supplement or Medigap plans. Medicare Supplement plans are private insurance policies that help cover what original Medicare doesn't, like co-pays, deductibles, and co-insurance. The benefit of Medicare Supplement plans is that you can see any doctor that accepts Medicare with no network restrictions. It covers out-of-pocket costs, which gives you a more predictable healthcare cost, and there's no need for referrals to see specialists. But in exchange for that, you have higher premiums, which typically is between $100 to $300 a month, and it doesn't include drug coverage. You'll still need a separate Part D plan. Medigap is best for people who want more flexibility and don't want to worry about larger out-of-pocket expenses. The other option is Medicare Advantage plans. Medicare Advantage, or Part C, is an all-in-one alternative to original Medicare. These are private insurance plans that bundle Part A, Part B, and usually Part D together. The benefit is that there's often lower premiums than Medigap, sometimes as low as $0 a month, but with higher out-of-pocket costs. And it includes benefits like dental, vision, hearing, and even sometimes gym memberships. In exchange for that, there's usually network restrictions. You usually have to see doctors in network, and referrals are required for specialists. There's also higher out-of-pocket limits, so you can pay up to almost $9,000 a year in copays and deductibles. Medicare Advantage is best for people who want lower premiums and are comfortable with network restrictions. So which one should you choose? Well, if you want lower monthly costs and don't mind sticking to a network, Medicare Advantage might be a better fit. But if you want more flexibility and predictability with out-of-pocket costs, a Medigap plan is potentially a better choice. If you retire before age 65, you won't be eligible for Medicare, which means you need a health insurance strategy to bridge that gap. And let's be real, private health insurance can be really expensive. You have a few options when it comes to healthcare and early retirement. The first option is COBRA. If you're leaving a job that offered employer-sponsored health insurance, COBRA allows you to continue that coverage for up to 18 to 36 months. You can keep the same plan, the same doctors, and the same coverage, and there's no need to worry about pre-existing conditions, but it's really expensive. You pay the full premium, which is often not subsidized by your employer any longer. and it only lasts for 18 to 36 months, so it's a temporary solution. COBRA is a good short-term option if you're retiring just a year or two before turning 65, but if you're retiring earlier than, say, 63, you'll need to consider another option. One of those options is the healthcare insurance marketplace, which may offer some subsidies depending on your income. You can't be denied for pre-existing conditions, and premium tax credits can significantly lower the costs if your income is low enough, but if you have high income, the premiums can be pretty expensive as well, and your doctor may not even be covered too. Some retirees choose to work part-time for a company that offers health insurance. Common examples are Starbucks, Costco, and Whole Foods. In exchange for working part-time, you can get affordable and high-quality coverage and extra income during retirement. So what's the best option for you? If you're retiring just before 65, COBRA might be the best bridge to Medicare. But if you're retiring much earlier than that, you'll want a marketplace plan or consider doing a part-time job with healthcare benefits. While we're on the subject of healthcare, let's talk about long-term care. 70% of people over age 65 will need some form of long-term care, whether it's home care, assisted living, or nursing home care. Medicare does not cover long-term care beyond short-term rehab after a hospital stay. The average cost of a nursing home is around $100,000 per year, and costs are only rising. There are a couple ways to plan for this, though. The first one is a long-term care insurance. Long-term care insurance helps cover the cost of home care, assisted living, and nursing homes. It protects your assets from being drained by these costs, and some policies offer a hybrid option that pay a death benefit if you don't use the long-term care. But it can be really expensive depending on your age and your health, and if you don't use the benefits, you may not get your money's worth. If you can afford it, self-insuring for long-term care might be a better option. There's no ongoing premiums, there's flexibility in how you use your money, but it does require significant savings if you need it. You may need to earmark up to $300,000 or more, and you may need to sell your house. A good middle ground approach is to use a combination of insurance and savings. Some retirees get a smaller long-term care policy to cover some of the costs while using personal savings for the rest. Moving on, the last topic that is important to discuss for those retiring in the next 5 years is lifestyle, purpose, and meaning. When most people think about retirement planning, they focus on the financial aspect. How much do I need? Will my savings last? And what's my investment strategy? And don't get me wrong, the financial side of retirement is critical, but what a lot of people don't realize or consider is the emotional and lifestyle side of retirement, which is just as important. The truth is, retirement isn't just about having enough money, it's about having a meaningful life. I've seen so many people retire comfortably financially, but struggle emotionally. They go from a very structured career where their work was their identity to very open-ended days, and suddenly they're lost. Retirement isn't just about leaving your work, it's about starting a new chapter in your life. And for many retirees, the biggest challenge isn't about the financial aspect, it's about figuring out what to do with their time. For 30, 40, maybe 50 years, your life has revolved around work. Your identity is tied to what you do. Your daily routine, your sense of accomplishment, your social interactions, it's all tied to what you do for work. And then one day it just stops. And if you don't have a plan for what comes next, retirement can feel empty. So when you're approaching retirement, don't just ask, do I have enough money? Ask yourself, what are you going to do with your time? How will you keep your mind and body active? And what will give you purpose outside of work? Studies have shown that people who retire with a purpose are happier, healthier, and even live longer. Purpose doesn't have to mean working or volunteering. It just means having a reason to get out of bed in the morning. For some, it's helping out their grandkids. For others, it's mentoring young professionals or learning a new skill. The key is just having a plan for how you're going to stay engaged. For a lot of people, quitting work cold turkey is just not an option for them. They want to work in retirement. Many retirees actually find that part-time work or consulting or just slowing down gives them a nice balance between structure, income, without the full-time grind. Instead of going from 40 hours a week to nothing, you can ease more slowly into retirement. Part-time work isn't for everyone, but for many retirees, it's a great way to stay engaged and keep a little extra cash flow. It can even help you retire earlier. So my final thoughts on this: plan for purpose, have a reason to get up in the morning, and consider part-time work or consulting which can provide income and structure. Invest in some hobbies, find activities that keep you engaged and active, and maintain strong relationships. The bottom line is a great retirement isn't just about having the money, it's about having enough purpose, connection, and joy. Over the course of this video, we've covered everything from retirement income planning and investment adjustments to healthcare strategies and lifestyle considerations. And if there's one thing I want you to take away from this, it's that retirement isn't just about having enough money. It's about creating a life that feels rich and wealthy in every single way. Financially, we talked about the importance of estimating your retirement expenses, maximizing your income sources, and being tax efficient with your withdrawals so that your money lasts as long as you do. We also looked at investment adjustments, shifting your asset allocation, managing sequence of returns risk, and rebalancing your portfolio to ensure stability and growth through retirement. And don't forget about healthcare planning, which is crucial for protecting your financial well-being from rising medical costs and long-term care needs. Beyond the numbers, your emotional and social well-being is just as important. Too many people retire without a clear vision of what comes next, only to find themselves feeling lost, bored, or even isolated. That's why it's so important to think about how you're going to spend your time, what will give you purpose, and how you're going to maintain meaningful relationships. That could mean part-time work, volunteering, traveling, or just pursuing hobbies. The goal is to retire to something, not from something. So where do you go from here? If you're within 5 years of retirement, now is the time to start planning your future. Start by running the numbers, make the necessary investment shifts, and ensure that you have a solid withdrawal strategy. But don't stop there. Also take the time to think about what kind of daily life will bring you fulfillment and joy. If this all feels overwhelming, you don't have to do it alone. This is where a financial planner like myself can help you navigate these decisions and build a strategy that's tailored to your specific needs. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like and subscribe for more videos from a certified financial planner. And if you feel like you need some more help from a fee-only financial planner, make sure to visit my website to schedule a free initial consultation. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.